everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here. I have a special guest here today. I want to introduce you all to my husband, Sandy. So today is going to be a little bit of a different video than what you've seen on my channel so far. This video is going to be more focused on lifestyle, and on today's video we want to share with you our journey into a healthier lifestyle. But before we start that, we just want to talk a little bit about our history with living a healthy lifestyle, what that has been for us in the past up until today.
Yeah, extremely hard to do because it's a big change in life, and we'll go more detail in it. But I just want to say thank you for everybody for subscribing, supporting my wife. She's very passionate, she's wonderful, and she cares a lot. So thank you again for supporting her and subscribing again. Thank you so much.
Aww.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So my husband and I, we've been together, it'll be 12 years this August?
12 years.
It'll be 12 years this August.
12 years we've been together.
And married it'll be 8 in
years.
August.
8 years. Yeah, and it's nothing been just a beautiful journey. We grew together. We grew to to do better for ourselves, and we grew into a beautiful family. So I'm really happy of the journey that we had.
Don't make me emotional. So that's a little bit about us, and just to talk a little bit about what our health journey has been so far. Before I met my husband, living a healthy lifestyle wasn't anything that I really thought about. Just the way I grew up, it wasn't something that I was surrounded by. What we considered eating healthy is not necessarily what is healthy. I can enjoy those foods that I had growing up, but to have them every single day, as I learned now as an adult, it's just not something that you should put into your body to fuel your body, to give it the nutrition that it needs. It was a very carb heavy diet, just a lot of fried foods, a lot of comfort foods that I think any culture can relate to. Any culture has their own version of comfort foods, and that's the kind of foods that I grew up on. And I was always very thin growing up. From when I was a little tiny tot to about my early 30s, I was always thin without having to work out. So it was never an option for me, or never crossed my mind for me to say, oh, I should work out for my body, work out to keep it this way, until I got into my mid-30s, when my body started to change, and it really hit me that the way I had been living was not the healthiest.
I grew up the same way. Growing up, eating healthy and watching your weight, watching your diet wasn't concerning. It was just enjoy your food, eat, feel full, be happy, and that's it. That's the history, how we grew up, and yeah.
And I think we can still enjoy it to an extent, or adapt it to our current lifestyle, because we've definitely have found ways to adapt the foods that we grew up on.
I was real chubby as a kid because my mom fed me all the good stuff, and then as I started getting into sports, so I used to play basketball. I played basketball, from 12 to all the way to 21 years old, and so I was able to maintain my weight. Once I stopped playing basketball, I did not know how to eat healthy, and when I wasn't running, 4 hours a day, I was just consuming what I think was healthy. I got to a point where I was 297 pounds. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was just like, wow, like, how did I get to this point? Because I was an athlete. The confidence is not there. I went through all of that. I did. And so I could relate to a lot of people who are feeling that depression and feeling overwhelmed. So what I did was I just said, you know what, if I could lose weight just eating healthy instead of going to the gym and instead of working out, that was the hard part of everything. That was the challenge that I had, was if I could eat healthy for 1 month, then I'll join the gym. And then I ate healthy for 1 month. I lost 20 pounds. And right there I joined the gym, and I just kept being consistent. And it took me in my whole 20s, it took me 3 years to lose 110 pounds. So I was 187, and for 10 years, I was in incredible shape. You know, I worked out twice a day in the gym when you met me. I'll do my cardio in the morning, and then after work, I'll do my weights. And you know, I was so dedicated because I knew the hard work it took me.
Well, for me, with my family, I was always the skinny one. And it was like, oh, what happened with you? Like, where's your meat? Where's your body? And that's just always what I was. And I couldn't really relate to Sandy when we first met. Like, why he would always go to the gym so much and why it was so important to him, until I started to pack on pounds. And we spoke a little bit about our history. But what do you think got us to this point?
For me, it's just different priorities, right? When I married you, things changed, right? You know, the working out wasn't so important.
Growing in our careers.
Growing in our, and that's a big one in our careers. Growing, we wanted to better ourselves. We wanted to be in a better situation, so we worked really hard in our careers. We all know the more responsibility you have at work, the more hours you work, right? And living in the city, it could be a little tough in New York because the commute, right? The travel, the long hours that we work. And slowly and little, you know, no more gym. We enjoy what we eat all we want. And this is how we got to this point, you know?
Yeah, I have to agree with you. So working 10 hours a day, commuting 3 hours in total, it just didn't become important for us to live an active lifestyle. We would just be exhausted when we got home. What became our lifestyle is, you know, after such a long day, we would get up at 5:30, leave the house by 6:15. We weren't home sometimes till 8 o'clock. I'm not gonna get in the kitchen and cook. We didn't feel like doing that. You know, neither one of us. We would look at each other and be like, "You're gonna cook? You're gonna cook?" Like, nah. Sorry, I'm not gonna do that. So the easiest thing to do became ordering out.
Yeah, and we were just, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people could relate to that. For me, it became like, why I'm gonna go to the gym at night and lose time with my wife and spend time when we don't even have that much time. And then in the morning, people say, oh, you could work out in the morning. Yeah, you could work in the morning, but when you're doing 45, 50 hours, maybe 55 hours a week, it becomes really challenging, right? So, you know, that's not an excuse, but then that's what made it harder for us to keep going forward with the healthy lifestyle.
Right. I agree 100%. Like, I would get home some days so exhausted that, you know, I didn't want to go out for a walk. I didn't want to go to the gym. I wanted to spend time with my husband, enjoy the 1 or 2 hours that we had before we had to go to sleep and wake up and start the daily grind all over again. So we chose to, you know, eat out a lot. We chose to stay home, sit on the couch, watch TV, instead of doing something positive for ourselves. And I'm not saying that eating out and watching TV are bad things, but just like anything else in life, it's about a balance.
Yeah.
And when you become so sedentary every day and you're eating unhealthy, it's not a good combination. And on top of that, I love unhealthy food. So it made it even easier for me to just, you know, order Chinese, order Domino's, order whatever I felt like eating that day. It was very easy for me to do that because that's how I had always eaten my whole life. And that's what I enjoy eating. About what motivated us to change. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You can start, baby.
I was pregnant. I had my son. We brought him home. And I felt like, oh my gosh. Like, I got on the floor one day. I put him, he was a few weeks old. I put him on this thing, I don't know what it's called, but you lay your baby on the floor and it has like toys hanging.
Put him it's like a
little jungle gym kind of thing. And I put him in there and I sat on the floor, and getting up off the floor was hard. Like, I felt it was a terrible feeling that I felt like I couldn't even get on the floor and play with my son who was just born. And all I thought about was, if he can't even move around yet, what is it going to be like when he's 1, 2, 3? Am I going to be able to run with him? Am I going to be able to do things with him, play with him, if I can't even get up off the floor now?
For me, you know, it was, you know, picking up my son, our first child, you know, and just looking at him, just starting to analyze the years, you know, like I'm picturing 10 years. He's going to be 10 years old. He's going to be 12 years old. I'm a little older now. If he turns, 12, which the time when they need support, let's say he wants to play basketball, he needs that support, that person that could go practice with him, that person that could just pass him the ball or whatever, baseball, any sport. I'm going to be, 53, 55, and I'm not getting any younger, and I'm not taking care of myself. So remember, back to it, I was 297. So I'm like, oh my God, like I got scared. I got really scared for him. He doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve that. He deserves better. And that what triggered me right there. I was like, you know what? I've done it before. I lost 110 pounds naturally. And, I could do it again. I know I could. But I needed that motivation. Sometimes what stops people from living a healthy lifestyle, losing weight, or accomplish a goal, it's motivation. And we have to figure out what motivates us. And sometimes it just comes naturally. One day you could be sitting out somewhere and you just realize something. You're like, oh, wow. You start pitching something. You say, oh, wow, I need to get motivated. And that, whatever reason that motivate you, carry that. And that right there, that motivation for my son, that way when I'm 55, I want to be able to play basketball with him. And the way I was going, I don't think I would be able to do those things.
Right. Whatever he chooses to do, he needs his parents around. And the way that we were going, us having him at an older age, we're not 25 years old with an infant. I'm in my 40s, my husband's going into his 40s. We want to be there for him.
Yeah.
And I think the other motivation was just us, like just being able to go back to doing what we were doing, when we first met. And being able to start traveling again, hopefully, if the world goes back to to a place where we can start doing those things. And when we would travel, we would go on excursions, we would go hiking, we would do a lot of things that I will remember for a lifetime. I carry those memories on with me, and I want to continue making those memories, with you, with our son, with our family. And I think for me, it was just about not being mobile and just to feel better about myself too. Like I'm not saying that you have to be thin to feel confident or feel better about yourself, but I just want to feel healthier. I work with physicians who are in their 70s and run marathons, and that so I work with physicians who are in their 70s and they're all healthy. They all live a healthy lifestyle. One of them runs the New York City Marathon and the Boston Marathon every year, and he's 70 years old. If I could be like that, I do look at them as motivation for myself, because I want to be a certain age and hopefully be mobile. And I know that life can take you places that you didn't expect. But if there's anything that I can do to help my situation, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
I even told one of them, I said, if the zombie apocalypse happens, I'm dying. You're living because you can run. I'll get caught. I'll be like, save yourself. I want to be.
Yeah. So we go through life, right? We're so busy. We forget about ourselves a little bit. And we forget about the future. And me getting motivated for my son, I started getting motivated. What about, I only got 32 more years till I retire, like 70. And 30 years go fast.
The last 30 went by so fast.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow. And what I want is for us to be healthy, so when we hit 70, 72, I'm going to be jumping off cliffs. I want to do bungee jumping. I want to do all that stuff at 70. I set myself up where enjoying life and just travel.
And maybe we could talk a little bit about why we're sharing this story before we talk about what our goals are. And I think it's more even just as a support system for ourselves, building a community around us that can relate to us. Yeah. And maybe share even their stories. If you guys want to leave your comments
Yeah.
You know, whether it was a weight loss journey or another journey that you had to overcome.
Yeah.
Holding ourselves accountable, putting
Yeah.
ourselves out there.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy talking about this kind of stuff, especially on the internet where people can judge you and they can point fingers at you. People do it in real life. You know, putting ourselves out there, we know we're putting ourselves out there, and there are going to be people that are judgmental, but there are also going to be people that understand what we're going through and who are going to be there and support us, and hopefully us support you in this journey.
Yeah, if you have the same situation as us, that you're debating about it, you know, you want to do it, you know, but you just, there's something stopping you. I just hope that this video motivates you, you know, and like I said, share your comments. We'll support you. Also, we're going to share, you know, recipes, because I love cooking. She loves cooking. And we're going to share, you know, quick meals. It's going to be exciting. You know, like I said, the cooking part is going to be exciting. That will be our next video, and showing people you could cook something really quick. Takes you 30 minutes when you get home, and it will be delicious. It will be extremely healthy for you.
Yeah, I think part of the fun that we're having is finding recipes that are delicious but also healthy. And I used to make my oatmeal that it was basically a dessert, and now I eat it in a you know, I eat it way healthier now, so it's not as good as it used to be because I don't pack in the sugar, you know, but that's okay.
We actually enjoying what we eating now.
We
like,
are.
You know, we actually enjoying it.
Yeah.
We actually, for the first time in a long time, my body's like, I want mixed greens. I'm like, I used to get a plate of rice.
Yeah, me
and
too.
I actually enjoy it. I was able to lose 27 pounds. I believe you lost 10 pounds.
I lost 10 pounds.
Nice.
So I went from 155 to 145.
Beautiful. I end up losing, not even working out, just cutting my portions in half, intaking, you know, healthier carbs, complex carbs, eliminating my carbs for dinner, and I lost 17 pounds just on that.
So my goal, I'm 145 now. My goal is to get down to about 120, maybe 115. I'll see how I feel when I get down to 120.
So we support each other so much, and it helps a lot. And having her, it just helps me a lot. So thank you, Bev. Like,
Thank you too.
You've been solid on this journey.
So my mom has been like a huge support system in all of this. Yeah. My mom also a few years ago went through a weight loss journey and started jogging and running. Yeah. She had never run before in her life, and she started running, started eating healthier. Yep. And there have been times where she's here and she's like, no guys, come on, you know, like, what do you want me to make for you guys? I'll make you something healthy, no rice, I won't make you any rice.
Yeah, she's been a rock too.
Yeah.
She's been very supportive. You want to be around those people that support you, because that's going to help you tremendously.
Yeah, we hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and we hope that, you know, you can find this as a support system for you. So if you have a story that you want to share with us, please leave a comment down below. I will be there for you as well, and we'll continue sharing our journey, and hopefully, you know, that'll be helpful to you to see someone else maybe going through the same thing. You know, it's always nice to know that you're not alone in something. Thank you so much for chilling with me today. I hope you liked this video.